Thank you, Lance. And I have Matt Douglas and the one and only John Lloyd joining me today for this exclusive Q2 update. We're going to be talking about expanding MRR with custom managed services and cloud solutions. As always, as we do in this, we have a $1,000 dinner giveaway for any partner that has a question. So, or actually anybody that's entered gets, anyone here already gets an entry. If you ask a question, you get five entries.
Times. That's
there
right.
you go.
That's right.
But let's kick it off, Matt. I know you're going to talk about brownfield, greenfield, managed services.
All sorts of fields.
Gold jacket, green jacket.
That's right, exactly.
Talk about what that means.
I think we got some exciting stuff here. Really, we're going to talk about some areas that you might not be familiar with that we do. And this has really resulted in some of our largest wins that we've had here in the last 12, 18 months. We did a similar presentation about 6 weeks ago with one of the big TSDs in their SE group and immediately started getting some leads. So I think this is some new information out there for folks. So Rob was talking about kind of greenfield or brownfield, right? We all grew up in the channel selling managed services of equipment that was kind of new installation. It was a green field. We're going out there. We're installing equipment, whether it's Velo, Cloud, Palo, Fortinet, et cetera. But what we're seeing a huge increase in the last couple of years is customers coming to us and saying, hey, I already own the gear.
Yep.
I've installed it. I've got problems configuring. I got problems managing it. How can you help me
or
with
I'm
this
dissatisfied
platform?
with my current managed services provider, but I bought the gear.
Yep. So these big OEMs that we've got this expertise, John, talk about really how we've turned this into a platform and really monetize this for the channel.
Yeah, so think about it as we used to think about NAS as the product, our
Network
Cisco
as a service,
right?
yep.
Network as a service. We built it on Meraki, we've built it on Juniper, our SD-WAN and SASE as a service with Velo Cloud and Fortinet and Palo Alto, right? We've kind of become known as Palo in the channel and all of that. But at the end of the day, those were kind of used the monitoring tools that were native to those platforms. And, to your point, they were greenfield. We upgraded the hardware. We've seen a lot of customers get more life out of their hardware. Obviously economic factors have led to people not making those same investments, but they still need help. There's still a talent shortage or a labor shortage of people to run their networks, run their phone systems, run their IT environments. And so we stepped back and said, what about managed service as the product, not as a function?
That's the platform.
The product.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And so we built this managed services platform. And we said, what are the core tenets? If we want to make the platform, don't worry about what we're managing, just how we manage. We are the managed service platform. And so it starts with this enterprise class global ITSM, and that we built on ServiceNow. And we've got all the modules you can think of from CMDB. We do incidents, we do change requests. It's a customer-facing instance of ServiceNow, and we e-bond that to other customers, ITSMs for flow. We also said, well, hold on, we need a monitoring tool that can help us regardless of what we plug in, whether that's data center environments, network environments, Azure, AWS. We need to monitor this environment, and it's got to be lightweight. It can't be intrusive to the customer environment. And we use Logic Monitor. That's our monitoring platform. They're a big winner in that space.
Again, two of the Gartner leading platforms.
That's right.
There. Yep.
But one of the things, Logic Monitor is a phenomenal tool, but they'll tell you, well, we don't really do applications that well. It's part of our platform, but if you want a true application performance monitoring and APM tool, that's probably not the fit. And we have customers who have that requirement of us. And so we partner with New Relic, again, a Gartner leader in that space, to layer that in. The next thing we said was, okay, we've got the platform to open the tickets. We've got the tools to monitor what does good look like. How are we going to leverage AI? And for us, we've never had a customer call our network operations center and just say, great job today. Everything's working fine. And so we're very sensitive to the fact we do not want a customer interacting with bots when their network's down and they're having a bad day. But we can use AI to make our people better, faster, stronger. And so we layer in things in Logic Monitor. They have a platform called Edwin AI. So if you think about it, call it event correlation. Same with ServiceNow. We could have an access point plugged into a switch, plugged into a router that then connects to another router, to a core switch, to a firewall, to an edge router. Internet circuit goes down. We don't need an alarm on all 7 pieces of hardware in the line.
We need a correlation.
We need correlation. And so what'll happen is Logic Monitor will open one ticket for us and say, the internet's down, go work on that, rather than us trying to work 7 tickets at a time. And the same with ServiceNow. You might have a ticket that internet's down, no, it's up. Internet's down again, no, it's up. Internet's down again, no, it's up. That doesn't need to be 3 different tickets that are going out and assigned to different reps. And so we're doing some AI correlation inside of those platforms to say, this is one event, it's the internet edge, reduce the noise, and we resolve faster. But beyond that, we've layered in this Icera tool. And what's great about Icera, it's an LLM that we've built and trained. So it's an off-the-shelf platform, but you customize. And we've loaded it with years and years of our NOC history. Mm-hmm. And so what's happening here is a ticket comes in that says a Cisco router interfaces seeing, packet loss. We're taking TX collision errors. It will present, here's this exact Cisco 9300 interface collision errors. Here's the last 5 cases. Here's what the root cause was.
Practice. Here's what we found.
Here's where you can go.
Yep.
And so again, it's designed to make our tier 1 better, make them respond faster, resolve faster, less escalations. And then the next,
I use that same tool at my desktop actually to try and be a better SE. Right?
Yeah, I mean, right.
It finds information quicker and brings it to me in a way I can use it. So, yep.
That's right. And so the next phase that we said is, okay, well, that's when things are going bad. What about the other part of managing an environment, which is my moves, adds, changes? We want to be able to do that as quickly and efficiently as possible, and we want to remove human error. I use the example all the time. We've got a retail customer on our network as a service on Meraki, and they've got about 850 stores. And they used to come to us once a week with, I need a new URL whitelisted in the firewall. That was about 22 hours worth of work. We'd split it up amongst like 8 engineers and go in and click. And without fail, we'd miss, 2 or 3 sites, just human error, monotony. So we build automation. So we standardize on Red Hat Ansible for automation, Terraform for infrastructure as code. And what we're doing now, it is about 7 minutes to write the script and 30 seconds to execute. So what was 22 hours now is under 10 minutes. And obviously think about the labor cost. So with automation, we are removing human risk. We're removing that human mistake when we manage these environments. And then the last part is, how do we report on it? Inspect what you expect, help the customer understand what is happening in their environment, give them great insights into the environment. And that we've built on Power BI. We've rolled out Microsoft Fabric for some even further insights, call it searchable LLMs, where customers can see, hey, what's CBTS's SLA adherence over the last 6 months?
Sure.
How many sites have gone down for more than 4 hours over the last year?
And I think the point of all this, to kind of bring it home, is all of that you just described, of the tools on the right, have nothing to do with the technology OEM at the customer site.
Correct.
We can then plug that in a brownfield managed service and take that over. The other beauty of that is that you get the revenue right away.
You get the revenue right away. You also, if you look at the bottom of the screen, the different products. So not
revenue
only
right away, meaning normally you got a 100 location customer.
Sure.
We're having to take 6 months to install that in a greenfield environment. This is something we take over in 6 months, and full revenue is coming to us and coming to the partner in the channel.
Correct.
Yep.
So you think about like the bottom, if you look at the products, it's not just OEM agnostic, it's also platform agnostic. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to come to CBTS and say, bring me somebody that knows network as a service and somebody else that knows DR as a service. The platform is the product. And so you can go deeper and wider with your accounts where you're selling managed network services. You're selling managed SASE and security. You're selling managed infrastructure, managed cloud, AWS, Azure, managed DR, managed backup, our security operations center. All are built off of this same platform. So it's one unified experience for the customer, and it's a great way to land and expand. To your point, if we've got, we did this, we had a 1,100 site retailer. Retail is just a great example because they got a lot of sites, but we do this in any vertical. But we had an 1,100 site retailer that it's about $90,000 a month in managing their Meraki environment. To roll out 1,100 sites is what, 18-month project,
Easily.
12 months if we're running, right? We did that in roughly 30 minutes. A lot of automation, a lot of prep work. Call it 30 days of planning, and then boom. So their first bill, instead of being, $400, their first bill was $90,000.
Yeah.
So when you're paying on MRR, that brownfield can be a great way to get a quick hit.
I'll add one more thing to this too. What I love about our approach with this is that we can build custom packages.
Yep.
You've got customers that we've come in and we're simply doing monitoring and some smart hands for replacing equipment. They feel like they've got enough staff. They want us for RMA and some of these things. Other customers want us the full package of tier 1 through 4. So we can also build a custom managed service that helps their particular situation specifically.
Yeah, once the platform is built and repeatable, it allows us to customize it rather than trying to build snowflakes with unique tools each time. So yeah, absolutely, it becomes much easier to customize.
All right, so let's talk about then. We've got these customers that they're talking about managed services. We're now often as well starting to see more and more professional services. And this is new in the channel, even though we as a company have been doing professional services for 20 years, and we've got a vast expertise, right? A couple thousand employees, 700 technicians, a couple hundred different vendors we've got expertise in. We haven't really released this to the channel. So talk about what we're doing on the PS side and some of the value we can bring there.
And as we've started to talk about it, light bulbs immediately go off in the partner's head going, oh, wait, here's this project. I didn't really know that I could get paid on a project like this or go to a provider in the channel. And CBTS is that option for
to help
partners.
them go deeper and quicker into that customer too, to solve that initial problem, because we all want to move towards managed services in the end if possible. But yes,
that's
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, so one of the things, we're paying up to 15% on this now in the channel.
That's right.
That's how important it is. And we agreed we were going to start that in June. And Rob paid it out in May anyway.
That's right. That's how important it is.
So increased payouts, that's the first thing. The second thing I always share with our partners when we talk, we had, I think it was 120 unique customers in our pro services org last year. 80 of those 120 bought additional products and services after they bought professional services.
After the engagement,
It's the easy way into an account. You go into an account and tell a customer, hey, this company's CBTS, they're great. You trust me, I trust them, sign a 3-year contract. That's a commitment. Hey, this company's great. They're known for their great engineering talent. You said you're having this struggle, or you have a project due by the end of the year to get your applications to the cloud, or you've got that needle in the haystack networking issue that keeps nagging you. This is a SOW based. They're going to come in. They've scoped it. It's going to be 100 hours worth of work. You're not in a 3-year commitment, but it's a great way for you to earn trust with the customer and for CBTS to earn trust with the end customer. And so we've talked about these areas where we already are doing business, our application space, our cloud space, in the modern workplace with UCaaS and CCaaS and CPaaS, in the infrastructure, data centers, our IaaS, you name it, and then security. We can layer professional services. And so the holy grail is to think about an assessment. Understanding where are you at today. Let's take network, right? We do a lot of network in the channel. Come in and do a network assessment, paid engagement. We go through and interrogate the entire environment and present findings. What is end of life? What is coming end of sale? What are at risk? What are best practices? And then make a recommendation of a future state architecture.
What it should look like, yep.
We then get to be the ones to sell that future state architecture, whether as a service or CapEx or whatever the customer prefers. Then there's a PS engagement to implement that future state architecture, and then we manage it. Mm-hmm. And we pay every step of the way. Yep. So that's the big thing when we talk about pro services is it's a great tip of the spear, but in the past, it's been reactionary. It's been the customer's got a problem. Can you get me an engineer here by tomorrow? That's really hard to, we try our best. That's really hard to facilitate. And so we've made this huge step into proactive,
to build some prescriptive
managed services. Right.
Yep.
And so one of the things we found was we constantly are getting called in to fix the problem. We've been breached. Our cloud spend is out of control and the CFO is furious, right? All of these different challenges. And so one, we know how important our go-to-market is with the channel. It's our number one path to success. And we know how important predictable monthly reoccurring revenue is, not only to our partners, but to the end customer.
That's right.
And so we've built these packages that are prescriptive. They are, call it preventative maintenance, like you would an oil change on your car or a physical you would get with your doctor. Some of these tasks we're going to do every single month for the customer. Some are quarterly, and then some are annual, like a pen test or different security assessments. And so you can see what we've kind of called out here. And again, remember, we're paying up to 15%. This is no different. And so we can get a customer to commit to a 12-month package, a 36-month package. We are delivering these services. So essential, core is essential plus the things listed in core, and then premium is essential plus core plus the things listed in premium. And so we have seen nobody's coming out of college right now going, I want to be a CCIE route switch. Hey, I want to be a PBX administrator. Hey, let me do the Office 365 admin work, right? Everything's AI, it's cybersecurity. And even that, a lot of customers don't have the budget for, these teams that you have to pay benefits and PTO and salaries and raises every year. And so this is a great way for customers, especially if it's not a full-time job, to do that one thing. What you're looking at, say, a premium package for $108,000 a month probably replaces the need for 10 to 15 employees because of the different specializations. And so this is a great way for us to be proactive with pro services. And then if you think about, we're going to talk about an example came through the channel, but started with one cloud engagement.
But before you go there, because I want to make sure on the PS side, I think what's unique here too is that not only are we opening this whole portfolio of expertise that can help people with one-time PS needs, right? But also then being able to turn these into monthly recurring professional services engagements to help them specifically run parts of their business they have trouble in the past.
And
that's a little different approach. So either one time to help them go farther with a customer, or being able to take these talents and give them regular consulting and guidance and professional services to help them run parts of their business.
Two different paths in, and then however we get in, we always find more opportunity, because in that PS world, you're so intimate in their environment. And so, we'll talk about this customer here in a second that started with one small engagement to help them with a licensing problem they were having in their Azure environment. And I think we've now got 12 active PS engagements with this customer.
They're billing $500,000 a month.
$500,000 a month.
Yep. But just add one more thing. Again, I want to make sure that people understand they can use this. I just was with a customer a couple of months ago, got brought in by one of the top partners out there who've been trying to break into a 10,000 person engineering firm. They got a lot of business that these people do. They've been meeting with them a number of things. They meet with the customer. The customer says, listen, I just bought a whole bunch of Palo gear from another VAR. I've deployed parts of that Palo gear, but I need some professional services for somebody to come in and take a look at our XOR playbooks.
Yep.
And that was a way for that partner to get in, a way for us to get in, and now we've started to build relationships. So this PS is not only possibly building recurring revenue, but also being able to help facilitate you get into customers wider and deeper than maybe you couldn't in the past.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit then about some of particularly our cloud expertise and some of the examples, the use cases you're talking about. And again, this is kind of a slide of, we're known for our expertise across a whole lot of different OEMs. In particular, we're very deep on the Microsoft side, very deep on the Azure or on the AWS side. So talk a little bit about some of the use cases here that we've had some big successes with.
Yeah, so the big thing, the top 5 you see up there, we those are our go-to tier 1s. We've got a bunch of tier 2 partners. We're calling out what we do in the cloud here because it really is a path. Customers are struggling to get there effectively. They might have got there, but not in the most cost-effective way. It may not be architected properly. Likely it's not running infrastructure as code, which is really a best practice. So we have a lot of prescriptive opportunities in there. Additionally, we've seen, I think Microsoft has changed their EA policy and pricing 4 times in the last 3 months. There's a lot of confusion around it. There's a lot of benefit to a multi-cloud strategy, but obviously they're different languages. You need somebody that can speak Azure and AWS. And so we see a lot of our customers coming to us and saying, first, we need help with licensing. It's getting out of control. Microsoft is dropping us. They're changing their price points. I need help with consuming my licensing. I need more flexibility with consuming my licensing. I need help getting my environment architected properly. I need financial assessment. Can you come in and do a FinOps? Look at what we're spending. Look if it's optimized. How do we save money there? How do we build out a multi-cloud strategy safely where we are able to choose what is the right home? And by the way, ongoing, I'm not going to build an Azure team and an AWS team. So if I had a partner that could be a CSP, right, a cloud solution provider, cloud services provider, sell me my licenses, make sure I'm designed and optimized for the best financial benefit of my company, help me get there, do a project to move my workloads, to build my landing zones, to implement Terraform infrastructure as code, and once it's up and running, continue to operate it for me. And I think that's what's unique is you can go to the SHIs and CDWs of the world and they'll sell you licensing. You can go to any of a million boutique partners out there that will help you do a cloud migration. then what? Like finding that one partner that truly understands your entire environment, understands how you're licensed to make sure we architect to that correctly, understands what your business outcomes are, can build management around that, including what's still in your data center. It's been very powerful. And so, we got a couple of examples, you guys can bring up here with Pinnacle and DISA, and these guys are billing $200,000-$300,000 and $500,000 a month, starting with, hey, can you help me with my licensing?
Yep.
And the growth from there, as we're able to get in, it is a pain to sign a 5-year EA and be allowed to add users but not subtract, right? So that was the first pain point is I need more flexibility. I need a better buying model that allows me to ebb and flow, and that's where our CSP program came in. Then it became every group, we have no governance. People have just been throwing stuff up in the cloud. Mergers and acquisitions. DISA's buying companies like crazy. Some are AWS, some are Azure in their own tenant. How do we bring all of this together and, again, optimize the cost so we're not running 8 different environments? And then now what's unique, too, is DISA's going, we want you guys to manage all of this, but we want some expertise in-house. So we're actually helping them build and staff their own center of excellence to help drive their own strategy internally, and then we're still going to continue to manage it. So it's been what started as, can you help me with my licensing need, has become a full-blown dozens of professional services engagements, staffing opportunities, managing those cloud environments off that managed service platform that we talked about at the start of the call. And to Rob, your point, $500,000 a month in MRR.
Yep.
And that's really, in the channel, I think we're becoming known for bringing complex solutions to the most complex customers, the most complex issues out there. We can come in and deliver these solutions. Yep. So the other thing, too, we in the professional services end, we're starting to do a lot of application development. I've got a lead on the table right now with a partner who brought us an opportunity for probably $200,000 worth of app dev work that the channel might not know that we're capable of that too. So I think the purpose of this kind of Q2 update was to let you guys understand that there's a wide variety now of managed services we can bring to existing networks. There's a wide variety of professional services we can bring to help go farther and deeper in your customer, either kind of opening up avenues or even selling them prescriptive, managed services over time for them. And then, the idea around help with their cloud environments as well. Some of our biggest wins in 2024 were some cloud environments that maybe the channel doesn't know we do. So anything you want to add here at the end, Rob?
Lance, any questions that have come through for 5 times the entry?
No, we do not.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I did want to say, a quick thank you to our partners. If the quarter was to end today, we would be at about 120% of our target. So I just want to thank.
It's been a phenomenal year so far. Yes.
Thank all of our partners for trusting us with your business. It really means a lot.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.